I have a brand new biblical question this morning for this week. Brand new biblical question. Why is stillness so important? No, I'm sorry. That's last week. This week. When black people tell me that I am going against my own people, what do they mean, my own people? And I hear from black people a lot, especially black liberal Democrats. When black people tell me that I am going against my own people, what do they mean, my own people? I really want to know. I think I know, but I want to be sure. All right? That's my new biblical question. I need Nick and Chris in here. I need my experts on this. I need my experts on what Joe Biden said. Joe Biden was on the a radio show, I believe, or a podcast show called The Breakfast Club with a black guy by the name of Charlemagne. Yeah, Charlemagne. And he was interviewing Joe Biden last week. And I've been hearing a lot about this. And I thought, let me see what my experts think about this. And then I'll do a little follow-up. But I want to hear what they think about what Joe Biden said. So here is the soundbite from the Breakfast Club with a black guy by the name of Charlemagne. And he was interviewing Joe Biden last Friday. Here's the soundbite.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black, come on, man, get a life.
That's a drop.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
You're not referring to Charlemagne by his full name.
What do you mean?
To be fair.
Leonard.
Oh, his name
no,
Leonard?
That is real name.
No,
Charlemagne Leonard?
No. The God.
Charlemagne.
The God.
Doesn't
Charlemagne the what?
The God.
Does he spell it?
T-H-A.
T-H-A, yeah.
He black.
Amazing. And here is, since that time, Joe Biden apparently apologized as Charlemagne reacted to his apology.
The last thing I want to do, and I shouldn't have been such a wise guy. I shouldn't have been so cavalier in responding to what I thought was, anyway, it was, I don't take it for granted at all. And no one should have to vote for any party based on their race, their religion, their background.
I mean, I know that's the attitude, you know. I mean, that's why I don't even care about the words and the lip service, and the apology is cool, but the best apology is actually a black agenda. You know, they got to make some real policy commitments to black people. We got to stop acting like the fact that blacks are overrepresented in America when it comes to welfare, poverty, unemployment, homelessness, drug addiction, crime, coronavirus. Like, that's no accident. Like, the whole function of systemic racism is to marginalize black people. And as the great Dr. Claude Anderson says in the book Powernomics, white society has an out of sight, out of mind attitude about racism, and they don't like to have any discussions of substance about systemic racism.
Amazing. So my experts are here. I do want to hear what they think about all this. Chris is here, my social media guy. He white.
Yes.
He's real white. And
Check me out.
he like real white. He speaks white. And Joe,
Speak white.
What's your name?
Anchor, baby.
The anchor baby is here. Nick.
His name's Charlemagne the God.
Nick is here.
Nick the God.
Nick the God.
And my producer, Joel, is here. He black. The audio engineer here. Chris, what do you think about all that? When Joe Biden said that he ain't black and apologized, and that boy's reaction to it.
Right. I'll start with Joe Biden. It really shows that he's just like, like really out of touch. Like, he thought that was going to be like a really funny thing to say. And I mean, I think it's hilarious that he said that.
Yeah.
But he just kind of looks a bit foolish. But having said that, the response to it was just so ridiculous. People were just like, see, this proves that Joe Biden is racist, and there's no way that he can be president, and all this nonsense. And it's just, a lot of Republican conservative types were like, this surely will prove to the blacks that the Republican party is the way to go for the blacks. And I just think it's kind of ridiculous to think that that's not going to make them vote Republican at all. It's what they're going to do is to the second point, to Charlemagne's response. What it's going to do is allow them to leverage the Democratic Party to get more free stuff. Because as you heard from Charlemagne's response, he's like, I don't care about his apology. I don't even care about what he said. What I want is for them to give me stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how they're going to take it. They're going to basically not blackmail him, but they're going to hold his feet to the fire.
If he runs for president, he's definitely going to have to pick a black woman now to run with him.
Certainly.
There's no way out of that. He may be at the date went out of a hole somewhere.
Yeah.
He's going to have to pick a black woman to run.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What do you
time.
think about what he said and his apology?
Yeah. Well, with what Chris said, it's like, I also was kind of like cringing at the Republican response that, oh, he's a racist. But I do really think he revealed. I think it was a revealing moment. Still, I still think it still is. Like, he really did reveal how Democrats think, and how even white Democrats think that it's just like they just get the vote and it's theirs.
Yeah.
And so really he was supposed to dress it up a little better, but he just revealed way too much.
Yeah. Amazing. And the apology?
Oh yeah, it's just because we've talked about it too, about blacks moving to the Republican side and black Republicans. It's like I remember being in this being at some event where there were some black Republicans, but when it came, I was at some event, right? And so, but when it became about race, they were talking about all this stuff like abortion and all that, and economics. But when it became about race, they suddenly turned into liberals, and it's like they don't want to be white. It's like, no, we're Republicans, but we're black.
They still believe in like systemic racism.
Right, they still believe in the
race.
racisms. They still believe in the even in the reparations in some ways.
Yeah.
And so
amazing.
I'm leery about the them switching it or anything like that.
Joel, what did you think about what Joe Biden said and the apology and Charlemagne's reaction to the apology? By the way, Charlemagne was on this woman by the name of Joy Reid. That's her name?
Joy Reid.
Joy Reid. That was her
Terrible.
on MSNBC or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead.
Lord have mercy. Well, Biden, I mean, it is silly, like Chris and Nick are saying, that it's silly that it does kind of reveal, their side of things. But, I mean, I think partly he was making a joke to Charlemagne. So the apology to me seems silly. He should be entitled to make a joke. If he wants to make a joke about it, and whatever. It shouldn't be no backlash. He should have the right to say what he wants, and that's just it. So that's what I feel about that.
About what Joe Biden said?
About what Joe Biden said, yeah. I
Okay.
don't think he shouldn't apologize. He said what he said. That's how he believes. So say what you believe, and he has the right to say it. And people shouldn't have this backlash to oh, he did this, he did that. Like, he has the right to speak just like we all should have the right to speak. I think, and it was cowardly on his point to decide to apologize, but that's just kind of what they do. I've noticed that is that every little thing, they appease the people so much, even though it's all fake, that you almost expect them to do that. It's not a surprise. It's all fake anyway. But Charlemagne, Lord have mercy. To me, he's like, just like your biblical question, all those blacks who just, my people, it's just all phony and fake black people pandering type stuff. And should we do we have to pull out the video, Charlemagne, of black people outside of the birthday party, and there's like 100 of them during the coronavirus, And I'm so tired of black people, black leaders who represent black people talking about how the system is the reason why blacks are being affected by coronavirus and viruses and all that stuff. It's just so silly. It's like, they don't listen to nothing. They got all this anger. You know, they don't listen. They don't follow rules. They don't do all. That's the reason why, you know, they're affected by all this stuff. It ain't white people.
So they're saying that, is he saying or implying that the Chinese virus was put into the black people by white people?
He's saying that, like, yes, exactly. That.
But how does that be? That came from China.
Right.
That's the implication.
That's from China.
He's saying just anything negative that ever happens to blacks is due to
the system.
The system. Systemic racism in America.
Just like the fat
Even
woman.
the Chinese virus?
Yeah.
Even the Chinese
Well,
virus.
how can that be?
Astro and God, man.
They just try to
How do
find
you
new
separate
ways.
it? So it's a Chinese virus white?
No, it's Chinese.
But how is it that he's thinking that? How do they think with the virus thing?
I don't know. I think it's
I don't
like,
know how your mind operate that way.
Well, either he's lying and using those what he said to control people, or he also believes, like other blacks I've spoken to, that just when you just see a disparity, like you see more blacks are in prison, then that must mean that there's a racist prison system. But there's a little more to that, right? There's a little maybe it's that they commit more crime.
Yeah.
Right. So either he's aware of that and he's saying what he's saying to control black people, or he really believes when he sees a disparity like that, then it must be racism.
That is crazy.
Well, it's like what Joel was saying, that they weren't following any kind of guidelines that were laid out by, you know, the federal and local governments and that type of stuff, but they just think that, oh, it's just because you know, white people or something like that.
Right. And it's so funny how in the beginning black people were saying black people don't get coronavirus.
Yes, you.
and now all of a
Right.
sudden
Only white people are getting it. They're like,
Hey, Officer Friendly with the cherry cheeks.
it's just crazy.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. So when Joe Biden said, "You ain't black enough," you ain't black. When I heard him say it, I didn't think anything about it. I was surprised he said it out loud. That's the only thing. I mean,
Yeah, same.
everybody know that that if you're black, you have to vote for the Democrats. Even the black people say that about other black people, black Republicans, that if you vote for the Republican, you ain't black. You ain't black enough if you are a black Republican. I've been hearing that forever. So I don't know why that is a problem for Joe Biden to say it. All he did was say it out loud, what we all know.
right.
True.
I mean, it's known by other black people because they will say, hey, if you don't vote for the Democrat, you ain't black. You got to vote for the Democrat. What you doing voting for the Republican? You're white. I hear it all the time.
Right.
So I don't know why that is a big deal for Joe Biden to say it.
In fact, it's almost interesting that you say that, because now that you put it that way, now I'm wondering why they would even make noise about it.
Right.
It would hurt them too much to make this kind of noise about it.
I don't know why they overreact unless, like you were saying, and you both of you were saying that they're trying to control. It's almost like a hijack. You know, they're making the Democrats do what they want to now, and that's what black people do. When white Democrats say something, they put them in a cage, and now you got to pay us back. You owe us, and so I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they're not surprised that black people vote for the Democrat. Most of the blacks vote for the Democrats.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we were saying, like they can use it to get something, and I mean, they don't care about what he said.
Right.
I mean, it's not a. I don't know if long term. I mean, it has been working kind of long term because it's been happening since the '60s, basically. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if it's the best long term strategy, because eventually, I guess I'm kind of hoping, but like white people are going to be like, oh, you're just kind of, making noise now. I don't care. You're not going to, just because I talk about the black community or something like that, you're not going to control me just because I say something like, Democrats vote black or they're overrepresented in the prison population. Like, that's not racist. What I'm saying. It's
you think the whites will revolt against their black slave masters?
Well, exactly. I'm hoping. I'm praying. I'm praying that we'll wake up and we'll break the chains of white guilt.
Let my people go.
It's so crazy to me though. Like people even that I see it now. I don't know if I'm just seeing it more now or this has been happening, but the fact that people even make a big deal about Biden saying what he said, it doesn't make sense to me that it's a big deal that he just spoke his mind,
He
no matter
spoke
what it is.
what is true.
Like,
Black people vote for the Democrats, and if you don't, they think you're white. That's just reality.
True.
And as Lyndon B. Johnson said, he's going to keep them voting for the Democrats for the next 200 years.
Thought I had to bleep you almost.
Oh, no. He's going to keep those N-word people voting for the Democrats for the next 200 years, and that is happening.
Dang.
And Charlemagne is not even mad about what he said, because he said, I don't care about an apology. I want them to do this for us.
Right.
That's what he wants.
Extortion.
So now the whites in the Democratic Party, you got to lick boots.
Big time.
That's what it means to be a Democrat if you're white.
Yeah.
Just to lick boots.
Lick boots. Anyway, I'm not surprised when Joe Biden said that. I mean, everybody know that already. It's not like a new, unknown thing. He didn't reveal anything that was unknown. The blacks said about other blacks all the time. I was thinking this morning, after a while, maybe the Democratic Party would be controlled or run by black people only. Then the party will be over. We won't have to worry about it anymore.
Complete collapse.
It'll be, they'll destroy it.
It's everybody who's not white, and it's like disabled people and trans people and gay people who are not kind of like all there, and they're
No
not
normal people.
exactly. They're not mentally sound or anything like that. So,
Because if you look at it, the Democratic Party, as you said, is real shabby now.
yeah,
It's just shabby. You know what shabby means?
Shabby.
not really, but
You don't know.
I can glean the meaning.
yeah.
That must be a black term.
Shabby.
You just so shabby.
I've heard the term. I've heard people
the
say
word.
not too shabby. So I think I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
sort of.
Oh,
know.
okay.
I think I know
Not
what
too
that is.
shabby.
But the more that they take over, the more the party becomes shabby. It's amazing. Wow. I mean, black people say it all the time to black Republicans. And you're right. Even some black Republicans are not really Republicans.
Right.
They're just
Right.
in the party because they think that blacks should be in both parties. But when it really comes behind closed doors, they ain't for that.
They just want you to do things their way.
Yeah, they want what
And that's
they
what I was
want.
getting at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you don't do what they want, then you're a white racist.
Right.
Even I've been hearing that since being a Republican from other black Republicans. As a matter of fact, I was surprised when I first heard it. When I became a Republican, I was in Washington, D.C., I will never forget. And there were several black Republicans speaking at this event for the white folks. And when the event was over, because they were acting all Republican, and then when the event was over, at some point, the blacks were standing around talking to each other. And I was stunned how they were saying, these white Republicans ain't no good either.
Wow.
They ain't going to help the blacks. They're not going to give you money. I'm like, what the?
Right.
So, James, thank you for staying, man. The Hate Report at 9 a.m. every day, except Saturday. So you heard Joe Biden said if you don't vote for the Democrats, you ain't black. Whatever he
Right.
said.
Yep.
And what do you think about that when you heard it?
He's lying. He said something like, if you're confused about whether to vote for Trump or me, then you ain't black.
Right.
But if you are confused about that, you are black. Or if you vote for him, you're black too. Because black on the inside, right?
Yeah.
Meaning like they're blind.
Yeah.
People who would vote for him or would be confused between him and Trump.
What do you
Because
think
the
about?
choice is clear.
I know. How about the people who call him racist for saying that?
Oh, that's kind of dumb. I mean, it's basically kind of telling the truth, because even if you're thinking black on the outside, if you're thinking about the black on the outside stuff, these people who are into their blackness on the outside, it happens to be true. It's how they think. Most of them are for the Democrats.
Right, and the blacks.
And that's how they treat each other.
Right.
That's how the blacks treat each other.
The blacks who don't vote for the Democrats but vote for Republicans, they are called white. They say you're not black when you vote for the Republican. Black people say that out loud.
Right.
I even heard so-called black politicians say that about other black people.
Clarence Thomas was not black enough.
Right. It's crazy. So the outrage about it is fake.
Right.
It's not real.
Yeah.
Even from the Republicans and the Democrats, the outrage is not real.
Yeah.
It's fake.
That's true.
So my biblical question is, when the blacks tell me that I'm going against my own people, what do they mean, my own people?
They mean they want you to identify with the degenerate blacks that you call out. It kind of reminds me of when somebody came to Jesus in the Bible times, and they said, "Jesus, your mother and brothers are with you, are here for you. They're looking for you." And he said, "Those are not." He said, "My mother and sister and brothers are the people that do like God's will."
Yeah.
That's who he identifies with.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that because you don't identify with the blacks, especially not the degenerate ones.
Yeah. That's what they mean, huh?
They mean the degenerate ones.
Oh, amazing. You
Yeah.
heard it from the white guy. Let me go to Ralph, a first-time caller out of Canada. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.